Hey, hi everybody. Welcome. Thanks for being here. We're going to go ahead and get started and we'll just come to the mat. We'll come to a seated position. Class is only going to be about 30 minutes today. So we're going to do a little bit of a shorter class, maybe 35 minutes. So we'll go ahead and come to the mat. And just coming to a nice seated position, bringing the hands to the knees, maybe lengthening up through the spine, through the crown of the head. Maybe rolling the shoulders up and down and back. So getting a little bit of length through the back of the head, through the neck. And we're actually going to start today by doing a little bit of swaying. So we're just going to sway side to side, left to right. And you can make these sways as big or as small as you want them to be. So if you're coming in with like a lot of energy, you might make your sways really big and kind of dramatic. But if you're coming in, maybe feeling like a little bit more contained or maybe a little bit more withdrawn today, you can just make these sways like even barely perceptible. That's totally fine too. So just swaying, you can kind of even imagine it's like a paintbrush going left to right, east to west. Just starting to create sort of that landing pad, that space for your day. And we'll stay here in a sway for about 10 more seconds. Might start to taper that off a little bit. And then we're going to slowly taper back to center. And then we're going to do forwards and backwards. So it's kind of like a front to back sway or front to back movement. You can even almost think of this as like a rocking movement. So again, like you're painting with the paintbrush beneath you. And just noticing how your body feels in this rocking motion, forward to back. These are really great movements to do when you might not feel like doing a whole lot or you're feeling kind of stuck or kind of stagnant. It's just a really, really gentle way of moving the body right at its own rhythm. And again, these forward and back sways, this can be really big and dramatic again, or it can be super small, whatever works for you. Maybe just notice how the body feels as you're doing these sways. And we'll go for about 10 more seconds here. And then we'll slowly come back to center. We're going to do a little bit of movement with the neck. So we're going to bring the right ear over to the right shoulder. And it's almost like we're going to do like infinity symbols or like a circle 8. So right ear to right shoulder, kind of making that circle, left ear to left shoulder. Make a circle there. So you can kind of start to see the circle 8 or the infinity symbol of it. Just really gently opening up through the neck here. Left ear to left shoulder, big circle. Right ear to right shoulder, big circle. Just noticing if this has any impact on your breath. We'll do about 5 more on each side here. Keeping your eyes open if you want, keeping them closed if you want. That's one here. And then we'll slowly come back to center. So just gazing straight ahead. And then we're going to do some gentle movements where we're going to bring the chin to the chest. And then look, and then bring it right back up. And even tip the head back a little bit. Chin goes up towards the sky. And then back to center. And back to chin to chest. And doing this as slowly or as quickly as you want to. But just noticing how this releases any tension through the jawline, through the neck, through the back of the neck. Maybe even all the way down the spine, all the way down to the tailbone. A few more of those. The whole idea here is just really slowing down, coming back to the body's pace. And as I've mentioned, the class for today is all going to be about slowing down, calling our power back to ourselves, and also setting an intention for peace. Just gently, we'll do a few more of these here. Slowly to center. And just pick up the hands and we're just going to shake out the hands. So just letting the arms, letting the hands really shake here. You know, this is a drastically different movement. But just getting any energy out through the hands, through the body. Really letting it be almost like even a harder shaking, if you can muster that or if that feels right to your body. Shaking, shaking, shaking. Maybe bring the hands up over the head. And then slowly bringing the hands back to the knees, just noticing how you feel. Yeah. Okay, and then we'll go ahead and bring the hands to the heart. And we're actually going to start today with what is known as the metta prayer. So you can go ahead and repeat after me if you want. And this is just kind of setting an intention for the practice and setting an intention of peace. So we're going to do one round of the metta prayer that's all focused on us as the individual, and then a second round where we're focused on sending that energy out to all beings. So we'll go ahead and get started. We'll be in Anjali Mudra here, hands at the heart. And we'll begin the prayer. May I be peaceful. May I be happy. May I be safe. May I awaken to the light of my true nature. May I be free. May all beings be peaceful. May all beings be happy. May all beings be safe. May all beings awaken to the light of their true nature. May all beings be free. We'll go ahead and take a big breath. And then big exhale. And we'll do two more of those. Big inhale through the nose. And big exhale through the mouth. One more. Big inhale through the nose. Big exhale through the mouth. And then we'll bring the hands back down to the knees. And we'll go ahead and get started in tabletop. So we'll come to our hands and knees on the mat. So nice here. It's actually been raining all morning, and just as we were getting started, it has pretty much cleared up. The sun hasn't come out, but no more rain. All right, so we'll bring the shoulders over the wrist here. Knees are going to be right under the hips, just gazing straight ahead. We'll make sure the spine is in a neutral position here, and then we'll go ahead and inhale, lift the head, the chest, the hips, Gaze up to the sky. And then exhale, arch and round the back. Draw the navel into the spine. And we'll do 3 more of those. Inhale. Gazing up to the sky. Exhale, arch and round the back. Again, navel draws into the spine. 2 more. Inhale. Head, chest, and hips. Let the belly droop really low. Lengthen through the spine. Exhale, arch and round the back. And 1 more here. Inhale, gazing up. And then exhale, arch and round the back. And then we'll come back to a neutral spine. And we'll come into a balancing pose here. So we're going to extend the right hand out in front of us. The left leg goes back behind us. So really reaching back through the toes, reaching through the fingertips, trying to straighten that back leg as much as you can, hugging into the core, into the midline, and then exhale, lower down. We'll do the other side. Inhale, left hand, right leg, reaching through the fingers, reaching through the toes, straightening through that back leg, flexing the foot, and then exhale, lower down. We'll do 1 more on each side. Inhale, right hand, left leg, reaching ahead. Exhale, lower down, and then inhale, left hand, right leg. Building a little bit of heat there, and exhale, lowering down. Then we'll come back into tabletop here, and we're just gonna gaze over to the left, and then the hips are gonna move to the right, so getting a little bit of a side stretch there. And then we'll come back to center, and hips are gonna move to the left, gaze over to the right. Come back to center. We'll do 1 more on each side. Gaze to the left, hips move to the right. Stretch through that right side body. And then back to center, hips move to the left, gaze moves to the right. And come back to center. Okay, and then we'll go ahead and bring the knees wide on the mat. Bring the big toes together to touch. We're gonna sit back in a child's pose. Just extend the arms out long. Grasping the mat with your fingertips here. And then as you're doing this, just really letting your heart melt down towards the mat. Yeah, so like the shoulder blades are coming together on the mat, heart melts down. And we'll just take a couple breaths here. Just getting into the hips here a little bit, getting a little bit of a side body stretch. And then we'll go ahead and walk the hands over to the right side of the mat. And we're gonna bring the right hand on top of the left hand. So just really getting that stretch through the left side of the body. And then we'll walk the hands all the way back to center, and then the hands are gonna walk over to the left. This time, left hand is gonna go on top of the right hand. So getting that stretch through the right side of the body here. And then we'll go ahead and bring the hands back to center. And we're gonna walk all the way back up to tabletop. And we're gonna move into a toe stretch here. So we'll go ahead and curl the toes under. And we're gonna bring the knees mostly together here. And then go ahead and sit back onto your heels. So toes are curled under here, and you're getting this stretch all through the soles of the feet. This might be really uncomfortable. It usually is uncomfortable for most people, but just kind of stay with it if you can. Notice the discomfort. See if there's anywhere in your body that you can really soften as you're doing this. So maybe soften the shoulders, soften the belly, soften through the back. Stay here for 10 more seconds. I think I've said this before. There's some like very experienced yogis who feel like if you're going to do one pose a day, this is the pose to do. There's so much that we can get to through the soles of the feet. Okay, and we'll come all the way back up to tabletop, untuck the toes, hit the tops of the feet against the floor. And then we're going to sit back again. So this time, getting that stretch through the fronts of the ankles, tops of the feet are flat on the mat. And just letting yourself breathe. We don't usually get a stretch into the fronts of the ankles in this way. So just kind of feeling into that stretch, breathing into it. And then we'll come all the way back up to tabletop. We're going to curl the toes under again, and we're going to move into our first downward dog of the day. So we'll make sure the fingers are spread wide on the mat, knuckles are grounded, especially the pointed fingers are really grounded. We'll curl the toes under, send the hips back, lift the knees up off the mat, and then just go ahead and pedal out that downward dog. So we definitely don't expect the legs to be straight here or the heels to be able to go down to the mat. Just pedaling it out, getting a bit of a stretch through the arms and through the back of the legs. Kind of pushing away from the mat with your hands. And just taking a breath there. Feet are hip width distance apart. We want to make sure the second toes on each foot are pointing straight ahead. And then go ahead and walk your feet all the way up to meet your hands. So feet walk up. And we're going to move into a forward fold here. So right hand is going to come to the left elbow. Left hand is going to come to the right elbow. And we're just going to dangle here. Let the head dangle. Let the head be really heavy. And just moving into our first forward fold of the day. Really feeling that stretch through the back of the legs. And again, knees can be a little bit gently bent here. Legs don't have to be perfectly straight. Just making sure that we're feeling a little bit of a stretch as we move into this pose. And then we'll bring the hands all the way down to the mat. Inhale, bring the hands to the shins, and we're going to gaze forward. We'll just have a flat back here. And then exhale, fold all the way back down. And then inhale, bring the arms up and over the head. Big inhale. And then exhale, bring the hands to heart center. So we'll stay here with hands at heart center. And then we're going to bring the hands all the way down to our sides. So just coming into mountain pose here. So we'll inhale the shoulders up to the sky. Exhale, bring the shoulders down and back. Make sure the palms are facing forward here. So second toes on each foot again are pointing straight ahead. Maybe letting the heart come forward, letting the tailbone be tucked. And then we'll go ahead and bring our hands back to Anjali Mudra, to prayer position. We're going to move into tree pose here. So we're going to bring the right foot to the left shin. So making sure it's not at the knee, or not touching the knee, but rather down here on the shin. Go ahead and push the foot into the shin, push the shin into the foot. And then push the palms together. So just coming into a really, really gentle balancing pose here. Yeah, that's perfect. And then we'll go ahead and lower that right foot back down. And we'll do the other side. So left foot is going to come to the right shin. And again, just pushing the foot into the shin, pushing the shin into the foot, and then pushing the palms together to maintain that balance. Heart is forward, shoulders are back. And then we'll go ahead and lower that foot all the way back down. We're going to come back into mountain pose. Hands out to the sides, and we'll go ahead and inhale the arms up and over the head. And then bring the arms all the way down through the center of the body. Exhale, bring the hands all the way down to the mat. Inhale, halfway lift, gaze forward. Exhale, forward fold. And then we're gonna go ahead and step all the way back to downward facing dog. So coming back to downward dog for just a moment. And then we'll go ahead and bring the knees all the way down to the mat. So knees come down to the mat. So we're in tabletop here, and we're gonna go ahead and step the right foot forward. So right foot steps forward, and you wanna make sure that the right knee is right over the right ankle. Left knee is on the mat here. So making sure you have a good, kind of comfortable grip in this position, and then we'll bring the hands to the waist. Yeah, so just getting that stretch, letting that right hip really drop down, and then we'll inhale the arms up and over the head. Yeah, really strong arms here, and then we'll inhale, lift the shoulders up to the sky. Exhale, bring the shoulders down and back. Bring the heart forward, kind of lengthening, deepening into that low lunge. And then we'll bring the palms together. Give yourself a gentle back bend here. So just really, really gently opening up. Really gentle back bend. And then inhale, bring the hands back to center. Bring the hands back down to the heart center. And then we're going to turn and twist towards the right. Left elbow goes outside the right thigh. Push the palms together. Gaze up over your right shoulder. Getting a really good twist here through the spine, through the back. Taking a breath here. And then go ahead and bring the hands all the way down to frame the front right foot. Shift the hips back, flex the right foot. Forehead's gonna come right to the knee. So just getting that really good stretch through the whole back of the right leg. Taking 2 more breaths here. And then we'll bring the right foot all the way back up. And again, just making sure the right knee is right under the right ankle. Bring the hands back to the waist. And we're gonna bring the right hand to the right knee. Left hand is gonna go to the back foot. And see if you can bring that back foot in towards the behind while keeping the body, the torso facing forward. So just getting a little bit of a stretch through the left thigh here, through the left hamstring. If you want, you can extend your right arm up and over your head, getting a little bit of length that way, and then just pulling that left foot in towards the behind. Taking another breath here. Really feeling that lengthening through the hips. And then exhale, lower the right hand down. Go ahead and lower that back foot down. And we'll step all the way back into tabletop. So coming all the way back. You might make some circles with the hips here. Just kind of stretching through that and then circle back the other way. And then we'll do the other side. So we'll step the left foot forward. Again, left knee is going to be right over the left ankle. Right knee is down. Yeah, really kind of finding your grip there, finding a sense of ground on the mat. And then we'll go ahead and bring the hands to the waist. Yeah, and then inhale, lift the arms straight up to the sky. Big, strong arms. Inhale, shoulders high to the sky. Exhale, shoulders down and back. Looks so good. And then go ahead and bring the palms together. Give yourself a gentle back bend here. Sitting back bend really has a lot of positive impacts on the nervous system. There's a lot of feeling, a lot that can come up through back bends. And then we'll come back up to center, bring the hands all the way down to heart center. And then turn and twist towards the left. Right elbow comes to the outside of the left thigh. Gaze up over the left shoulder. Just feeling that twist all through the back, all through the spine. Breathing here. And then we'll go ahead and bring the hands back down to frame the front foot. Shift the hips back, flex the left foot, and the forehead's going to come down towards the left knee. So just getting that stretch through the left side, through the back of the left leg. We tend to hold so much tension with all of our sitting and driving in the back of the leg. So this stretch or like forward folds are so good for getting some spaciousness there. And we'll take 2 more breaths here. And then go ahead and bring that foot all the way back up. And we're going to step back to tabletop, all the way back. And then again, we'll make some circles with the hips. Maybe 2 or 3 in one direction, and then 2 or 3 in the other direction. Really opening up through the hips. Okay. And just coming into tabletop here, we're actually going to move into pigeon pose. So we're going to move into a gentle hip opener. So the right knee is going to come to the outside of the right wrist. And depending on where you're at, this foot can be all the way up towards the left hand, or it can be back kind of more in like a swan position. So more at an angle. And then left leg is going to go back. So left leg is straight. It's going to go back. And then we'll go ahead and come up onto our fingertips first. And just feeling into that stretch for a moment, making sure that the top of the left thigh is kind of turning in, and then the top of the right thigh is kind of wrapping around the right hip, and then the tailbone is tucking. We'll go ahead and come down onto our forearms. And once you get down to the forearms, just melting the heart down towards the mat. And then just letting everything soften here, letting the jaw soften, letting the hips really sink down. And we'll stay here for about 5 breaths. You're just noticing if you are breathing. Maybe notice where your breath is. And then we'll go ahead and walk the hands all the way back up. And we'll step back to tabletop. And then we'll do the other side. So left knee comes to the outside of the left wrist. You can kind of pick that foot up and bring it up, or let it be in more of a swan. Right leg goes back, and we'll come up onto the fingertips here. So just letting the hips really sink down. Top of the right thigh turns in. Left thigh kind of hips and wraps around the behind, around the hip, and tailbone tucks. And then we'll go ahead and bring and come down to the forearms, letting the heart melt down towards the mat. So shoulder blades come together. It's like you're squeezing that pencil between the shoulder blades on the back. And taking a few breaths here, maybe noticing if there's any difference on this side or how this side feels compared to the other side. And we'll take 3 more breaths here. And then slowly go ahead and come back up. And then we'll come back to tabletop. And just bringing the knees together, we're going to sit back into the knees together, child's pose. So sitting back, extending the arms out long. Just noticing how your body feels after that deep hip opener. And then we'll go ahead and roll all the way back up. And we're going to come down onto our back. So coming back into some poses on our backs here. We'll go ahead and hug the knees into the chest first. Just bringing the knees into the chest, maybe rock side to side. Also noticing how your hips feel here. And we're going to do a really gentle back bend here. So we'll bring the feet down towards the mat. Bring the hands down by the sides. And then we're going to push into the feet, push into the hands, and inhale, lift the hips up to the sky. So just coming into a super gentle bridge pose here. Pushing into the feet, pushing into the hands, the shoulders, and the back of the head. So getting leverage from all of those places. And then exhale, go ahead and lower down. Left hand comes to the heart, right hand comes to the belly. Just breathing here. We'll do one more round to bridge. So hands come down to the sides, and then inhale, pushing into the feet, the shoulders, the back of the head. Lift the hips up to the sky. If you want a little bit more of a challenge here, you can grab the opposite elbow under your back, if that feels good to you. And then release the elbows if that's where you are. Exhale, lower the hips back down. And then go ahead and bring the feet wide. So feet are coming to the edges of the mat and the knees fall in together. So coming into constructive rest position here, letting the adrenals, letting the kidneys, the whole lower back really rest, really move down towards the hips, down towards the tailbone. And then we'll go ahead and bring the arms out into a T. And we'll cross the right leg over the left leg. If you want, you can tuck your right foot behind your left foot to get a little bit more of a stretch. Hips are going to move over to the right side. Knees are going to fall to the left. So just coming into a reclining twist here. And then go ahead and gaze out over the right shoulder. Just taking breaths here into the rib cage, into the side body. And then inhale, bring those knees all the way back up to center, uncross the legs, and we'll do the other side. So left leg crosses over the right leg, tuck the toes. Hips are going to move all the way over to the left. Knees fall to the right. And gaze out over the left shoulder here. Try to make sure your shoulders are staying as grounded as you can here, especially the left shoulder. Knees back up, uncross the legs. Tuck the knees into the chest one more time here, maybe rock side to side. And then we're going to move into Shavasana. So go ahead, let the legs be long. Let the palms come down by the sides. We'll just stay for about a minute in Shavasana. Just softening the jaw, softening through the back of the head. Really feeling the weight of the body on the floor, feeling the earth supporting you. Start to move other fingers with other toes. Gently flutter the eyes open. And then just rolling over onto the left side. Just pausing there for a minute, maybe letting your hand or your arm support your head. And go ahead and go all the way back up to a comfortable seat. We're going to do one round of breath work here. And then we're going to close again with our metta prayer. Okay. So I'll go ahead and bring the pointer finger and middle finger right out in front of you. Bring both of those right to the center, right between the eyebrows. And we're going to close the right nostril off with the thumb. So go ahead and exhale out of the left nostril. Inhale, left nostril. Close off the left nostril with the ring finger, pinky finger, exhale, right side. And then inhale, right side. Close off the right side with the thumb, exhale, left side. And then inhale, left side. Close off with the ring finger, pinky finger, exhale, right side. And inhale, right side. Close off with the thumb, exhale, left side. We'll do 2 more rounds here. Inhale, left side. Close off with the ring finger, pinky finger, exhale, right. Inhale, right. Close off with the thumb, exhale, left. Inhale, left. Close off with the ring finger, pinky finger, exhale, right. Inhale, right. Close off with the thumb, exhale, left. Bring the hand back down to your knee. Just notice how you feel. Kind of let yourself come right back to the natural breath here if you can. Just notice how the body feels. And then we'll go ahead and bring the hands back to heart center, back to Anjali Mudra. And we'll do our metta prayer again. And again, I'll state one of the statements and then you can repeat the statement back. So it's kind of like a bit of a call and response. Okay, so hands at heart center, taking a deep breath in. May I be peaceful. May I be happy. May I be safe. May I awaken to the light of my true nature. May I be free. Take a big breath in. Big breath out. And we'll go to the second round. May all beings be peaceful. May all beings be happy. May all beings be safe. May all beings awaken to the light of their true nature. May all beings be free. Take another big inhale. Big exhale. And then just bring the hands back to heart center, bowing the chin. And just setting the intention that this practice serve both us and our own sense of inner peace, our own ability to slow down, our own ability to be able to slow down, discern, and take right action. And may this practice also serve the world. May this serve all of those who are in pain or in strife in whatever way. And may they feel the peaceful impacts of this practice. Take one big inhale. Big exhale out of the mouth. I'll bring the hands to the forehead. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Take good care. Namaste.